Well, good afternoon. Trucker Todd here, and time for another video. This one's going to be super quick. We're not going to do the intro music. We're not going to do anything like that. I just want to give you a couple of quick reminders and then jump in to the subject of this video. So, first of all, I want to remind you guys that tonight at 5 p.m. Central Time, we're going to have Michelle Cantrell on the show. She's the lead recruiter, or a lead recruiter at Swift Transportation for lease purchase, and we're going to get you the answers to some of the most popular questions about Swift, their lease purchase programs, and things like that. I've got a series of questions I'm going to ask her, and then hopefully we can get some of your questions in too. So I'm looking forward to that. When I started these live feeds, she was actually the very first person I contacted about coming on the show and doing an interview. So I'm real excited to have her on tonight. She's been great to work with these months that I've been here at Swift, and I can't wait to pick her brain tonight. The other thing I want to tell you guys, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, share it on your social media platforms, and look down in the description and comments below for a lot of other great information. I'm going to be talking about Trucker CFO. Again, there's been an update, been an announcement, and I want to share that information with you. And if after you hear what I've got to say, if you want to contact them, their website and phone number will be down there, as well as ways you can contact me as well. So the thing I want to tell you about them is, and he mentioned it in the Thursday video when he came on the show, they've released their 2023 guide to tax season, and it's totally free. You don't have to be a member. Anybody can look at it, and I would encourage each of you to do that, even if you're using another tax accounting service or if you're doing your taxes yourself. Now, it's on their website, truckercfo.com. And then near the top of the page on the right hand side, it'll give you the option to download it. You just put your name and a little bit of information in there, and then it'll pull it up in a PDF that you can read. I went ahead and read the whole thing a couple of times last night. I found a lot of great information in there, and I just wanted to share with you some of the things that it talks about in there. I'm not going to read you the whole report or anything like that. You guys need to do some of your own homework. I'm just going to tell you some of the things that are in there, and it may pique your interest and persuade you to check out that PDF. If you decide to call Trucker CFO, please tell them you've been watching Trucker Todd. That does help the channel, but it also encourages them, incentivizes them to want to come on my show and give me a heads up when they do things like release this guide, which it appears they do it every year. This is the first year I've ever seen it, and I learned a lot, and I found it really useful. So the first thing it does is talk about the first steps to get ready for your 2023 return. You guys know we just entered 2023, and they're telling you how to hit the ground running for your 2023 taxes. Another good section in here was the 6 common mistakes made by trucking professionals. And so, again, you want to check that, make sure you're not making one of those 6 common mistakes. Then it goes into a whole section about what's deductible, what's not deductible. Then it's going to talk about the harsh realities of tax refunds. And I'm not necessarily going in chronological order here. I'm just telling you things that stuck out to me as I was reading this report. It goes into a whole section, and it's pretty extensive, about choosing a business entity. Should you be a sole proprietor? Should you be a partnership? Should you get an LLC? Should you be a corporation? I'll tell you another thing it discusses in here, and I didn't put it in my notes. It also talks about, this is the question we've been getting a lot, and I was going to ask him the next time he's on the show, the last Tuesday of the month. But I already know the answer because I read this report. It asks, what should you put back for taxes? And it answers that question in this PDF. It goes into how, renewing LLCs and things you should know about that. Also talks about the pros and cons of an LLC. So we always hear the pros. Oh, it's good for this reason. Oh, it's good for that reason. But they also give you the cons, kind of that fair and balanced look at it so that you can make an informed decision. As I said, this is great information no matter who your tax person is. I selected these guys after learning about them and asking them questions and things like that. But this information is good for anybody, and I'd encourage you guys to check it out. Is an S Corp right for your business? So we touched on that when he came on my show, but do you need an S Corp? Another great question. It's got a little article about separating your business and personal expenses and why that's important, and so that might be of interest to some of you. It also talks about the importance, and I'd never heard another tax accounting agency talk about this, the importance of reviewing your past tax refunds. And so I hope you have access to those. It says that you need to have them readily available, and of course I knew that, but it talks about going back and looking them over from past years. Maybe you'll find something you didn't know about or something. So that's another thing that's in this article that you may want to check out. Here's a good one for me, and something I really struggle with: the best way to preserve receipts. And they go into that and why it's important and how long you should keep them and how you can preserve them. You guys know these truck stop receipts, if you just throw them on your dash, the sun will fade them, and in a couple of days you can't even read them. And you need to keep those receipts for at least 7 years. So what can you do to those receipts to make them last at least 7 years and potentially longer? And then everybody's favorite section, it talks about per diem. And so if you've got per diem questions, that's in this report. It talks about tax audits, how often the general public is audited, and how often independent contractors are audited, or owner-operators. It talks about guys that don't report all their income. For example, maybe they report all their 1099 income, but maybe not their W-2 income. There's a section on that. Also talks about you guys that are into cryptocurrency. I haven't got into that yet, but it covers cryptocurrency in this, how it could affect your taxes and what you need to be doing, things like that. Also goes into tax resolution issues. If you've got back taxes, the best way to approach it, how to handle it. Like I said, it's an outstanding piece. I know I can't even get you guys to read your contracts, but hopefully I can get you to read this, because it could potentially save your financial life. I'm not going to be dramatic and say your life, but definitely your financial life. You don't want to get in trouble with the IRS. And then finally, the last thing that really caught my eye on there was it does a pretty good job of talking about tax strategies. And so again, I encourage you guys to go to truckercfo.com, and then on the right hand side near the top, you can download the PDF. I want to say it's like 41 pages, but there's a lot of illustrations and stuff. It's not a terrible read. Well, it's a great read actually, but I'm saying it's not a lengthy read. It's something you could probably read in 20 or 30 minutes and probably learn quite a bit. So that's all I got for tonight, or for now. I'll see you guys in a couple hours for the live. Y'all take care. Bye-bye. I got to drive a little.